One in straight sets. And it's the French captain, Toniuti, to serve to start the match. A positive one for Sam Walker. Two left-handers in the lineup, Walker and Paul Carroll, with the absence of Tom Edgar. And they need to get out of the blocks quickly against such a quality opposition. The serve with Aidan Zingle. They haven't served particularly well in this tournament. They've missed the jump serve of their captain, Thomas Edgar, whose injury has prevented him from really winding up on the delivery. Ngape is a very, very gifted player. Oh, drives a brilliant jumper into Sam Walker, drawing the error. 2-1 to France. Hit with great purpose. Straight through the middle, they'll target Sam Walker. Ngape with another jumper, and it's in. Well, it's a tight call. They think about the challenge Australia. They have 2 challenges per set. They'll retain them if they're successful. But they've decided not to challenge that call, and a good decision too. It was flush on the line. That's long. 3-2. It's on Australia's serve. Here's one guy that can certainly hit a serve in Paul Carroll. And good dip, taking it in court. And Roussier's spike had too much on it. Service with LaRue, one of the middle blockers. Strikes a good one. Good joust to the net. Australia keeping the point alive. Tilly. And he sends it wide. Third generation of his family to play for France, with his father there and grandfather Guy. Nathan Roberts at the line. Floats one in. And Le Goff rise as well. They've got great defensive strength for France. They outblocked their opponents yesterday 11-2. 39 spikes each. Tipped over there by Moto. Ngape collects 2 Australian players along the way for a 5 or 6-3 lead. So it really was defence first for France against the Iranians. Solid block. Can the Australians penetrate? Roussier. Tipped over and blocked wide there by the French. So point to Australia. Mote, difficult floater, not negotiated by Ngape. And on the subject of points scored, well, Thomas Edgar has been an absolute colossus for the Australians. Equals second top scorer in the whole tournament, despite missing almost a full match. As that helped over by Le Goff. 59 points, but they are without his services from the start, which is a real concern for the green and gold. Challenge has been thrown in by Australia. Ball in-out challenge. Santilli pointing to the line. The officials poring over the vision, and it is clearly in. Flush on the line. Unsuccessful challenge, they'll lose one. And France have the lead first set, 7-5. Good set by Sukachev, just tip over. Excellent work, Paul Carroll. He saw the block in place and just finessed it over the defensive cover for France. course, won a German Bundesliga title with Berlin this season. We'll be joined by Nehemiah Mote and Luke Perry in the Berlin lineup. So a real Aussie connection there. Le Goff denied. Rousier out wide. And a second successful block for Australia. And they level things up at 7-all. Rousier this time makes no mistake. France the first to 8 points in the opening set. Australia need to find a way to score enough points and around the incredible defensive skills of France. Le Goff serving. Zingle just to angle the touch. Ngape denied. Perry keeps it on and Zingle sends it to ground for 8-all to Australia. They did so many things well yesterday against Canada, but in the end analysis, the Canadians served their way to victory. Ngape, good angle for him. The quality was there from the set. And Irvin did the rest. Sukachev. Carroll found the right contact. They're going point for point at the moment. Huge match for Paul Carroll. He's brought very good club form to these Olympic qualifiers. Would have been disappointed with his opening match against Iran. Zingle floats the serve. LaRue deals with it expertly at the net. 10-9. Plays for Halbank Ankara in Turkey. Does Kevin LaRue. 209-centimetre middle blocker. Sukachev. They play quickly through Mote. Australia will have to set their block. And they can't get enough defensive cover there for France to be worried. 11-9 to Le Bleu. Roberts finds the block, but it's pushed out. Nathan Roberts, 16 points, 3 blocks and 2 aces yesterday. Service return comes straight back. Mote plays quickly, finds fingers for an Australian point. Transition, they can be very dangerous. Nehemiah Mote has the ability, like Ngape does at the other end, to just change the tempo. And there he is, just flying through the air with great athleticism. Such an entertaining player. Plays for Modena in Italy in the Serie A, approaching 180 caps for his country. LaRue stretches everything, but sends the serve long for 12 all first set. Nathan Roberts has mixed up the jumper with the float serve effectively in this tournament. He wasn't counting on that. Service error, 13-12 to France. The Australians outblock Canada 13-9, but Canada on top in the attack stats. And that's a really good effort by Paul Carroll. Well timed, beautifully set up. Sukachev with that reverse set. Mote floats it down, touched over by Tii. 14-13, Lebleu in front. Perry off the set. Zingle finds hands. France in the box seat. And off Sukachev's defensive attentions. It's a point to France. Ngape again showing what a great athlete he is. Craning his body to get the angle. Tii, and it's floated long. That's good judgment by Luke Perry. A young libero of great quality. He's going to the top Bundesliga club next season. Of course, all the Australian players have to play domestically in Europe or around the world to gain that top club level exposure. Le Goff. Proved too heavy there for Luke Perry. 16-14, Lebleu lead in the opening set. The hulking figure of Le Goff going to the line with France leading 16-14. Awkward float up, but Carroll in a great position, sends it to ground well. Good positive start for the opposite, Paul Carroll. Walker sends the serve long. Walker with Carroll top scorer so far with 3 points. Ngape's had a lightning start, and that's quick play. Exactly the way that Australia can penetrate a gnarly French defence. Quick set by Sukachev, and Zingle onto it like a flash. He's replaced by Paul Sanderson. '30-year-old wing spiker in for his first exposure in this match. Just long. One of those players with Roberts and Carroll that can produce a big jump serve. He's replaced immediately. Zingle back into the action. 18-16 to France. Ngape times it beautifully. Well received by Australia. Carroll off hands. Mote sets. Likewise. There, and it's off the block for an Australian point. So good combination between Mote and Sukachev in the build-up. Paul Carroll's found his range. Finds the top of the net. Roussier. Sharp work by Paul Carroll, but Australia can't keep it at bay. 19-17, a 2-point spread for France. Roussier's power's enormous, angles it well. Difficult reply for Australia. Kevin LaRue. Roberts. Got that spot on. Picked his spot and hit it superbly. Dips it into middle court. Tilly. And it bounces the right way for France. 2018. Good deep by Ngape. Mote was there, but he wasn't quite set at the right angle. Roussier. Sukachev. Walker loops it in. TE in a great position, and what a block by Australia. Tremendous work. Definitely a strong point of their game as Bell comes in for Sukachev. The number 2 setter's in. And he's all smiles in a very tense situation late in the first set as Mote goes to the line with Australia trailing 19-20. Back set, and off the boot, it's out. Roussier's power was awesome. Angled kill. Thought it was off the boot of Carroll, but he got an arm to it. So 2 points in it. Rougeau, the number 2 setter, on court for France. Carroll sends it to ground, and it is a point to Australia to keep France on its first set. Yoti back. The French captain really makes his team tick. Sukachev. Good set, Roussier. In the slot he wanted. And off the block, it's out. Double block for Australia, but off Aiden Zingel's hand. Le Goff. Big point here for the Volleyroos. Carroll. France scrambling. And Ngape will try a low percentage shot at the end. Would have been better served just to loop it back into court. 21-20. On the serve of Sam Walker. They play quickly and effectively. LaRue slapping it to earth for a 23-21 spread. Timeout called by the green and gold. France leading 23-21 in the opening set. Well, Thomas Edgar there is just to the right of screen. Looked okay in the warm-up, but obviously has taken ill effect from yesterday's punishing 5-set loss to Canada. The Australian captain not on court, did not start. Paul Carroll has done well in the opening set as his replacement. France with the advantage though. Roberts denied by a massive block by France to set up set point. thought he beat the block with his speed, but it was a strong effort by the French defence. Timeout, 24-21. Set point to France. Continuity, the captain serving. Carroll, and the block will fall out. So one save for Australia. So important for them to make a statement in this match. The experienced Aidan Zingle, the former captain. Floats one in. And LaRue, it's kept alive though. Some sharp work by the Volleyroos. The set, and Garpe sends it to ground. France claim the opening set, 25-22. And Garpe, the top scorer with 7 points, has inspired France to the first set. It's all to do for Australia. The tricolour of France providing all the colour. Thomas Egger didn't make the court in the opening set, and Garpe was the standout performer with some searing service points. Some big efforts at the net as well. Paul Carroll, Australia's top scorer with 6. Replacing the injured Tommy Edgar. Zingle played his part, but they didn't have enough in the pressure moments. LeBleu stood up to the opening test. 18 attacks to 14, 5 errors to 4, pretty even on that count. And Australia edging in the blocks department. The 2 aces for France helped them across the line in that opening set. (25-22) in 21 minutes. All players coming off a long European season. They've got World League action to come, as well as they hope Olympic participation in Rio. But that's still very much in the balance for Australia. A little bit more certain for France, given their second placing at the moment to Poland in the points table. The top 4 teams out of the 8 here will go through. At least one Asian nation. So the top-ranked Asian nation. If 2 Asian countries or 3 find themselves in the top 4, they will qualify. Rouzier outgunned by Ngape in that opening set, but he won't mind that. Ngape, the top scorer with 7 points. Fine margins in that opening set. Be fair to say Australia need to produce their best if they are to stretch the World League and European champions. Rouzier, the block is wide, so the opening point to LeBleu. Kevin LaRue's pretty relaxed customer, the middle blocker. Stretched everything into that serve, but found the net for 1-all. Sukachev comes back in as Aiden Zingle goes to the line. He's floated out, so good judgment by Ngape. The caller's LA from Irvin Ngape as Rouzier floats the serve middle court. Oh, that's quickly played, but not effectively. Point to France. Mote just overcooked the hook that went long. Quick set by Sukachev. That's what he does really well. And it's a good tactic against the French. Finds the tape. Sukachev this time to Roberts. And the second attempt to Mote is good. Point to Australia. I'm sure that would have been a message from Roberto Santilli at the set break, just to play with a little bit more variety and pace. Don't allow the French block to get set. Here's T.E. and he sends it to ground. Great control from the angle. Plays in the top Polish league, probably one of the best with Russia in European volleyball. Sukachev stretching, so Australia playing catch up in this rally. Now they'll get a second bite at it. Carroll, and that is good, very good indeed. He's found his A game in this match, Paul Carroll. Giving Rubenikov, the libero, no chance. Nathan Roberts has got good variety on his serve. This time finds the corner. And the back set is good. Just far too inviting for Rouzier. Found an exposed Australian court. When you strike low at the sort of velocity these guys are hitting it, it is very difficult to defend indeed. Mote, and that speed of transition, just catching France out. Quick set, good angle. He just slapped it into the block. Point to France, so didn't find fingers. No mistake. Walker sends it wide. Jacob Geimer with his first exposure in the match. Point to Australia in that previous one. Found the court. Geimer with a serve. And Ngape. That's convincing. Carroll. Again, finds the right angle and the right contact off the block. 5-7. Australia again playing catch up in this second set. Sukachev came into the tournament with a bit of a concern over an injured calf. Off the tape. The set is good. Ngape denied. And that's strong defensive work by Australia. Aiden Zingle in a good block for the green and gold. Double block with Sam Walker. Now LaRue, and the call was from Kevin LaRue before that point. He comes up with a quick play to give the advantage France's way. 8-6 in the second set. France, of course, lost to Poland in 5 exciting sets, but they beat Iran yesterday in straight sets, their most complete performance of the tournament. And they have a set, an 8-6 advantage over Australia here. Ngape sends that into the net. He's very much a risk-reward type of player, Irvin Ngape. Walker returns the favour. Well, they need to do what they do very well. And Roberto Santilli understands that, but he's not getting a premium display so far. Not too far off, but they need to be at their very best. LaRue sends a decent serve in. Roberts on the angle. It's not up for Australia, despite the efforts there of Sugachev. You can see the set a little bit behind Nathan Roberts. Had to adjust. Good defensive posture there for France. 10-7 to LeBleu. LaRue. Searing serve, and that's sent to ground well by Roberts. Showing all his athleticism. Really decent return of serve by the Volleyball to keep that point alive. 8-10. Le Goff finds the block. And the result he was looking for, 11-8. Rouzier sends that long. Now the Australian fans get serious. The team trails 9-11. Good serve by Carroll. Quick transition. Oh, that was magic. Irvin magic. Ngape into the open court. Fantastic set by the French captain. And that's Ngape at his very best. Sam Walker with some silk of his own. 10-12, the Australians trail. Roberts just tries for a little bit too much on the serve. Hasn't hit the jumper all that often in this match. 13-10 to France. Very good at protecting a lead. Le Goff, awkward serve to negotiate. Tipped over there by Walker. Oh, that's quick work from the French captain, Tonuiti. And Australia sends it to ground via a deflection for a point one, 11-13. Luke Perry reacted really well. PE. Good set, and he sends it long, Paul Carroll. Great opportunity there for Australia, missed. 15-11 to France. Timeout called by the green and gold. LeBleu in control, second set. Well, the Australians need more from their support cast. Paul Carroll leading the way with 10 points, and then Zingle and Walker on 4. Roberts, Mote 3. Walker. Ngape repels it. Uiti in. Oh, Ngape with great strength. He's one of the most exciting players in world volleyball. Exactly for this type of reason. Just fantastic skill all round. 16-11. Ngape, top scorer of the French team with 9 points. He's not going the way Australia wanted in the second set. After dropping the first, they trail by 5 points in the second. Max Staples with his first exposure. Toniuti serving at 16-11. Carroll, it's a huge block. Massive effort by LaRue, and they love it. The opposite in a great area, but LaRue timed his leap to perfection. Contact was good. Point to France. They send it wide. Tight call. They think about the challenge. Call accepted by Laurent D. Errant delivery there from Greg Sugachev. Returns it back to the dangerous Ngape, who can really crack a serve, as we've seen. Doesn't wind up on this occasion. It's wide, but that's the sort of variety he can show. He's an instinctive player. He's tried to top spin that into the front court as Benjamin Bell replaces Sugachev. Brisbane-born setter. TE rise as well. Australia stay alive through Walker, and now Carroll. Quick work from Bell. Carroll at the second attempt. Off hands for a point. If at first you don't succeed, well, try again. Just far too many elementary errors being made by Australia. 19-14 to France. I'm sure the cogs are spinning with the national team coach. LaRue with a bullet. Staples, his first effort is long. As France creep closer to a 2-set-to-love advantage. Timeout called by the Volleyroos, and they trail 14-20 in the second set. Always going to be a tough assignment against such a well-credentialed opponent in France. Equal ranked 10th in the world. Australia only 3 points or places below them, but certainly in international trophies won. Not as impressive record as Zingle strokes it over. Ngape sets it up for Te, who crunches the spike. Tough angle, but he negotiated the single block of Paul Carroll. 21-14. LaRue hits the jumper, but it's long. Good judgment by the Australian backcourt. The Volleyball need some inspiration. Zingle, returned by Ngape, and here's the big man, Rouzier. Perfectly executed. And he finds himself serving it to 22-15. That's about as loose as it gets from Antonin Rouzier. Carroll needs a big moment and finds it with a brilliant serve. Both the direction and pace outfoxing France. Rouzier had a sight on it, but perhaps thought it was going long. It was well in. Carroll, another big delivery. Te from the angle, sends it long. Point to Australia. Building momentum. Carroll's having to go for so much off the serve, and the French break the circuit with a timeout, and they lead 22-18, but on Australia's serve. Timeout to design just a circuit break that the snowball Australia is developing. See if Paul Carroll can just reignite that rhythm. A couple of big serves, and a third finds the mark. Well returned by Te. Rouzier goes for craft over power. Just touching it over the double block for Australia. Good set. And great caressing work there by France's number 4. Pujol replaces his captain. Good set by Bell. Staples can't find the right connection. It's alive here. And Le Goff ends the debate in that point. Set point to France. A hulk of a man. When he gets his full weight behind it, it's a very difficult assignment to withstand. Staples lifts it over. France keep it up. And Ngape. And good up by Australia through Walker. And that's denied. Point to France. And a 2 sets to love advantage. Le Bleu march on. Despite the desperation of Australia, Paul Carroll could only find the net. And the green and gold will have to play catch-up. France with a 2 sets to love advantage. Boxing Kangaroo needs to do a little bit more punching in this match. Off the Roberts block for a point to France. We weren't seeing enough of that throughout the match from Sam Walker. Rouzier has been a good fine fettle, as has Ngape, who's the top scorer for Le Bleu. Australia have been solid in the blocking department. T found Terra Firma with a good angle kill. (13 attacks to 8. 10 errors by the green and gold did not serve them well. France edging Australia in the blocks department as well. By day's end, I'm sure France and Poland, the two top-ranked nations, will be looking to create a bit of space between them and their opposition in this 8-team tournament. Final stage of qualifying for the Olympic Games. Will we see the injection of Thomas Edgar? Certainly a match that they need a cutting edge, but his physical condition may not allow him to take to the court. As Santilli has words to his young libero and Luke Perry. Encouragements from the Australian captain, but he won't take his place to start the third set. Pretty significant obstacle to overcome. 2 sets to love down against the World League winners, the European champions. Toniutti to the line in France. Touched over by Walker. TE jousted the net. Straight to flick it back through Carroll. Staples did well. And Ngape, and they've found a net touch in favour of Australia. Ngape looks across to the referee. Yeah, just flick with the top of the hand from the equal top scorer, Irvin Ngape. Carroll, inside out serve was effective. Perry sits and waits, and Geimer saw the block go wide, so long by Ngape. 2-1 to Australia. Staples got his run up wrong. Kevin LaRue can hit a fearsome serve. This time tries for touch and probably better serve to go at 100%. Completely mistimed. Jacob Geimer hasn't seen too many minutes in this match. Floats it in. Toniutti, and that is a quick transition. Lagoff slaps it into the open court for 3-all in this third set. Great work by the French captain to provide the assist. Bell. Tipped over well. That's clever work in the sort of craft that the French captain can display. One of the better setters in this tournament. 4-all. Net touch. Ngape. Stood by Walker. Carroll. Finds a good connection. 6-4 to Australia. He saw the double block set. Hit it inside out to great effect. Rousier sends it down. Good defence by the green and gold. Ngape. Slapped down by Le Goff. Find resistance here by Australia. Forced time of asking, it's denied. And it was just too strong in the end, the defensive block of France. Le Goff and Ngape providing the cover, and the big man goes to the line with France trailing 5-6 in the third set. Perry scrambles, and that's great work by the libero. Carroll hooks it back, and what about that for a complete hash between T and Ngape. And that's a great example of how it's never over until the point ends. Look at that desperation from Luke Perry. The dig back into court, and what was going on there? Not sure they know. Ngape. The joust is excellent work by Staples to push it over. 8-5, Australia's biggest lead. And they go to the technical timeout in a positive posture in the third set. Uncharted territory for France. They're down in the match after controlling the tempo. So some positives to glean for Roberto Santilli as he sends his team after the technical timeout with an 8-5 advantage on the serve of Aiden Zingle. No coming back from that. Toniuti with a quick reaction. Bell, the set. Staples sends it long. Max Staples, the runner-up in Belgium with his club side, the most recent European season. Carroll, too much strength, denying the double block of France. The serve, but had too much carry. France back in the contest. 8-9 they trail, third set. Good return by Perry. Staples gets it right on this occasion. Sends it down brilliantly for a 10-8 advantage to the Volleyroos. Staples gets the run up right. Muti feeds Ngape, and it's feeding the beast because he is such an awesome attacking player. The back set was superb, and the two-man block couldn't impact on Irvin Ngape. They draw to within a point. LaRue, good service return by Perry. Carroll off the block. Point to Australia. Paul Carroll, Australia's top scorer by a mile, 14-4. Ngape just at the net. Australia in a good position here. Touched over by Staples. Te, and they win their second joust for a 3-point spread. Jacob Garmer at 12-9 to Australia. Rousier, and that's wide. So good points accumulation by the green and gold in this set. Errors creeping into France's game. Errors are generated because Volleyroos are putting their opponents under pressure. Te, Staples won't make up the ground. Le Bleu trail 10-13 in this third. Bell, single play quickly. This time Walker tries to roll it across the block. Rousier sends it to ground. And that's what the big man does so well. An opposite striker of great quality. Good reaction by Bell. Ngape. Perry. Good up from Bell. And another point to Australia. They're making their own luck in this set. A lot more positive. Trying to play with a different rhythm. When they get a chance at quick transition, they'll take it. Rousier this time. And straight into the chest of Bell. 2-point margin to make up. Benjamin Bell, one of the taller setters in this competition at 200 centimetres. They need precision here. And Carroll gives them just that with a thumping spike to make it 15-12. Ngape denied, and Australia on a roll in this set. 16-12 their advantage. Paul Carroll stands out like a Goliath in this match for Australia. 17 points. And Garpe 11. Rousier 12 for France. But for the first time in the match, the Volleyroos have the ascendancy. It's Walker serving at 15-12. 16-12 in fact. And Garpe. And that's long. Maybe challenged. They're thinking about it. No challenge fired in by the French. Just beyond the baseline for Irvin and Garpe. 5-point margin to Australia. Well, they're doing everything right, and France have certainly dropped their level. Inside-out serve was handled poorly by Kevin Teahe. Another timeout called. 18-12, the point spread, third set. On form, on paper, France overwhelming favourites, but Australia making them work very hard indeed in this third set. In 12 to the Volleyroos. And Le Goff sends it long, but via a deflection off the block, so point to France. Clear touch off Aidan Zingle. Bell with the reverse set is very sweet indeed, but is wide there by Paul Carroll. Clearly so. So timeout called by Australia. And they have the advantage, 18-14 in the set. France mount a comeback. 14-18 they trail. Third set. Bell with the set. Staples denied. Joust at the net is in favour of Australia once more. They've jousted brilliantly in this match, especially in this third. 19-14. Zingle with the final touch. Garpe with a poor return, and Carroll should dispatch it, which he does. That's convincing. 20-14. France have dropped their guard, and Laurent Teahe would be disappointed with their output this set. Marichal in to replace Garpe. First appearance in this match for the 198-centimetre wing spiker. And he's had an immediate effect, slapping the winner down court. Perry to Staples, and he beats the triple block with a well-directed, well-crafted winner. Straight through Kevin LaRue. And the result Australia were looking for on the serve of Paul Carroll. And strikes it brilliantly. Well defended by both teams. Staples once more. Well, credit to Luke Perry and Paul Carroll for keeping the point alive, but Max Staples in consecutive rallies has come up with the right contact out wide, and he loves it. 22-15. Carroll finds the corner. Will there be a challenge? Look, the flush serve. No challenge by France, and they creep closer to forcing this match into a fourth. It's been inspired serving by Paul Carroll in this match. The block made contact, but it was pushed wide. Plenty of ground to make up for France. 16-23. Marichal. Good service return. Staples once more off the block to generate set point for the Volleyroos. It's been a real good cameo by Max Staples in this set. Substitution now affected. Lebanon on for T. Young man, just 21 years of age, on court, facing set point, and an ace to complete the picture for Australia in the third set. That is a sweet serve, and Max Staples has produced his best in the set. 25-16 to the Volleyroos. Story very positive for Australia in that set. Still no Thomas Edgar, but Paul Carroll doing the business. Max Staples providing the support act. Le Goff slapping it into the open court for the winner. Max Staples is that type of player. He can change the rhythm, and certainly his energy and positivity infectious. Good defend there by Australia with Aidan Zingle in the block. Max Staples came up with a string of winners, important points, and the numbers bear out a lot better performance by Australia in that third set. 11 attacks to 10, 2 blocks apiece, and just 4 errors. So France were error strewn in that set of volleyball, and it's going to a fourth. Well, they lost their way in that third set. Laurent Tilly keen to get his team back on track. Australia just as keen to keep France out of their rhythm. A rhythm they found well in the first couple of sets. Well, how congested the positions are, 3-6. It is so important for Australia to get on the board in this match. If they can force it to a fifth, it's a guaranteed point, but they'll be thinking a victory. They've done it before against France. And who knows, you may see Thomas Edgar appear at some stage. Obviously struggling with that abdominal strain. Walker serving to start the fourth. Net touch conspiring against Australia. Opening point to France. Walker had to adjust his point of attack. Rouzier with an angled kill. And that's just the start they were looking for. 2-love. Carpe back on court. Rouzier does the business once more. This time down the line. The points accumulating for Antonin Rouzier, up to 14 now. Timeout called by Australia, not the start they were looking for. They trail 3-love. High stakes in Tokyo. France in second place on the points table at the moment, but that may change before day's end. Australia outside the top 4. The French with a 3-love lead in the fourth. Zingle, desperation there by the French libero. Staples, and the killer's wide. That's a pretty big miss for Australia. 4-love quickly becomes a tough ask, but they're on the board with that service error. Zingle has not come up with an ace and had a few errors off the serve. Just a couple of blocks for the match, so his number's down. Good set by Bell. Perry out wide, Carroll. And he can't find the open court, but he did find the edge of the block. See Le Goff shaking his hands, caught the edge of his fingers. Carroll, tape and dips over. Rouzier goes for touch. Good up there by Perry. Double touch, says the referee. So it's back to a 4-point margin. France leading 6-2 in this fourth set. Quickly played, and that's effective work by Jacob Geimer. First point of the match for him. Staples got it all wrong. He hasn't found rhythm on his serve, but he has at the front of the court. 7-3. Bell out wide, and Walker finds the block that goes wide. 4-7, so they're just staying in contact of France. Winning that points run in the third set. Inspired by both Carroll and their number 9, Max Staples. flamboyance of Irvin and Garpe. A back set, angled kill. Too hot for Paul Carroll to handle. Body language a lot more positive than the players of Le Bleu. I'm sure Australia feeling the pressure of the situation. Needing points. After yesterday's loss, they led 2-1 over Canada. Carroll finds the block for a point to Australia. As well as that, they had saved 4 set points in that fourth. When it went to a fifth, you just saw the energy and the disappointment just course through the Australian squad. And Canada served their way to victory. Rouzier. The block was solid, but couldn't find the court. 9-5, back to a 4-point spread. You can see the wheels ticking over with Coach Santilli. Contemplating his next move, I'm sure. LaRue sends it into the net. Left-hander Sam Walker. Goff plays with pace. And when the set is spot on, it's a really difficult tactic to defend against. You can see how late the Australian block was up, but that is understandable. France playing with pace. Well, they're just allowing Australia to stay in contact with a few errors in the set. Guymer back in for Luke Perry. Zingle dips the serve over. Joust at the net is good. Max Stables very active. He's an in-your-face type of player, Max Staples. The boy from Subiaco in Perth. Rouzier finds the top of the block. 11-8 to France. Bell set centrally, and it's a good strike from Sam Walker. Up early, testing the block. Carroll, full wind-up. Great return of serve. And Garpe in the joust. Tip over from Bell was clever. Oh, that's great work by the Australian setter. Saw the open court. Reacted quickly, instinctively won. Carroll, another great delivery, and that's a .1 service ace. 11-all, Australia have found their rhythm. Clawed back the deficit. And Garpe sends that wide. So the Volleyroos on a roll. Stopped by a timeout. France call the timeout with Australia leading at 12-11. Good fight back in this fourth set.
l'autre, on essaye de sauter moins haut, peut-être d'être plus agressif, parce que là, ça nous passe tout entre les bras. Tout entre les bras. Moins, Side, side, side. Maintenant.
Good signs for Australia without their captain, Thomas Edgar. They've moved through their gears, showed good variety and staging an impressive fight back. Can they continue it? Led by this man, Paul Carroll. A brilliant serving display and great in his attacking posture. He sends that long after a string of points. 12 all. Well, and that's very uncharacteristic from Luke Perry. His teammates know it. Usually so safe in that type of situation. In between the set and the dig height for him. Advantage with France. Staples. And Garpe reacted quickly. T.E. Good work by Walker. Staples once more just rolls it over. And they get the rub of the green there, France. Carroll off the block. Point to the green and gold, 13 all, fourth set. Max Staples sends it into the net. Went for it on the serve. And rightfully so, it's 13 all. Now point advantage to France. Rolled over there by Walker. And that's a great angle kill. And Garpe at full flight. Very tough to defend that type of attacking play. Toniuti, the captain of France. Bell slipped when he delivered the set, but that didn't worry Sam Walker too much. Just looking at the court there, Ben Bell, who's had a good impact since coming on, replacing Sukachev as the Australian setter. He's done well. 14-15 on the serve of Jacob Geimer. Technical timeout. France leading 16-14 in the fourth. France have got the pedigree and the performances in this tournament. Australia, I'm sure the hunger at improving their lot. They've performed under par throughout the tournament, have had to negotiate a few key injuries, chief of which is their captain, Tom Edgar. Big serve by Garpe. Bell with an impressive set. Walker is kept up by France. Joust at the net. Rousier flicks it back. Gets a second bite at it. And that's to ground for a France point win, 17-14. Through the block. Australia called the timeout in a precarious position, trailing 14-17 in the fourth.
On a dit qu'on était offensif. C'est quand on a le service pour faire. C'est quand on a le service pour faire.
Le Bleu fans sharply in focus. Their team leads by 2-1 and 17-14 in the fourth on the dangerous serve of Irvin Ngape. Good return by Walker. Tips it over. Excellent work, Australia. Will there be a challenge fight in? Not as yet. Hint of a net touch there from Sam Walker, but no challenge by Le Bleu. 15-7. Australia trail on the serve of Ben Bell. The back set is good, and the strike even better. Rouzier wins the point. Such a tactical game. Volleyball's where you play the serve and how you construct your transition. LaRue stretches every sinew with a serve. Carroll, and the block is sent wide. Australia stay in touch. Goff. That was rapid. He's got the ability to move into an attacking position very quickly indeed. Bell, Carroll. Point to Australia. As his points accumulate up, Paul Carroll. 23 points in total. Nathan Roberts replacing Aidan Zingle. I'm sure to provide a jump serve. That would have been his instructions from the coach. Really didn't get good contact on that. Leap was out of sync. Straight back out for Zingle. Luke Perry returning as well. Staples. That's a huge block. Towering strength off the defensive block of France. Le Goff was impassable. Carroll sends it to ground. Impressive work. 24 points. He's the match's top scorer. I'm sure he'll trade that in for a victory for Australia. 21-18 France lead, but on Australia's serve. Ngape, triple block. France keep it alive. Rouzier off Staples for a point one. 22-18, they creep closer. Pujol replacing the French captain. Bell out wide to Staples. Sharp reaction from Pujol. Equally sharp from Carroll. Staples second time and just rolls it into the court. It's a net touch picked up. Second time of asking, Staples sends it into the net. Just mounting the pressure on Australia. 23-19 to France. Toniuti to the line. Walker, and that's long. It found a touch along the way. No challenge from France. Relief for Australia, 2023. Geimer. Good set out wide, Rouzier. And that is awesome. Rising well. And match point to France. Ngape angles the serve. The back set is good, and Carroll dispatches the spike via a deflection to save one match point. Ben Bell full of concentration. Ngape, good position here for France. Tilly off the block. Perry. Carroll. And that's just too strong. Too big and too strong. He's single-handedly keeping Australia in the contest. Up to 26 points. 2 match points saved. Catches the tape. Rouzier denied. Ngape there. Rouzier at the second attempt, it's wide. Well, things get a little tighter. It's a challenge by France on match point. Block touch challenge. Let's see if it takes a deflection. Cross-court strike was wide, but the question is, did it take a touch off the block? Huge challenge on match point. Let's see if it's struck the finger. No touch. Through the hands of Aidan Zingle. What a pressure moment. Timeout, match point. Australia trailing 23-24. Fine margins at this level. They turned it around with a brilliant display in the third set, but still have to survive now. Another match point on the service of Ben Bell. He floats it in, difficult one to return. Rouzier this time, denied by Perry. Bell. Carroll sends it to ground. Big fight back, Australia, 24-all. That is superb pressure volleyball. Via the edge of the block. Bell. Tonyuti. This time Rouzier makes no mistake. Yet another match point for France. Le Goff back in for Grebennikov, the libero out. Kevin LaRue, the possessor of a wicked jump serve, hits the line at match point. Off the tape. Bell needs precision. Carroll gets the right contact. Onuiti stretched but couldn't make up the ground, and 25-all it stands in the fourth. Walker. From the angle, he just touches it over, and that's point to France. A fault by Australia at the net. And the tension mounts once more, match point to Le Bleu. There's a challenge fired in by Australia. I'm sure it's going to be the net touch. Net touch it is. Video poured over by the officials from a number of angles. We're right next to the video referees. Nothing significant at the moment to showing itself. Just to see how it plays out for Australia. Is there a net touch? There is, unfortunately. Not successful. So match point remains for France. On the service of Rouzier. That's a big one too. Bell. Carroll in a great position, and it's wide. They have just kept on fighting and believing Australia in this set. 26 all. Total of what, 6 match points saved now? Zingle with the serve. Ngape. Just too much power. There's a fault found. 3-metre infringement, I believe. Yep, you saw Ngape's foot on the line. That's what I understand the fault to be called for. Set point to Australia. Huge call by the official. T.E. swings it back. Level pegging. So Australia's efforts at sending it to a 5th, unsuccessful at the first attempt. Max Staples finds the top of the block. Advantage back with France. Rouzier! And what a stuff block. What a point for Australia. Max Staples comes up big. And the Volleyball have their 2nd set point. They need a good jump serve from Carroll, and it's wide. Heart in the mouth stuff here, 28 all. Their Olympic qualifying could hinge on this result. France in a lot stronger position on the points table. Le Goff. Bell, Staples, off the block for the 3rd set point to Australia. He's done so well, Max Staples, in re-energising this Australian lineup. Can he get the service right? Ngape off the block, and it's still there. Oh, just misunderstanding between Perry, Carroll and Geimer. You can just feel the tension throughout the arena. 29 all. 6 match points in total saved by Australia. They've had a few set point opportunities. Bell for Carroll. It's the right man. And Ngape is there. Rouzier. Good block by Australia. Point to the green and gold. Double touch against the French. Shake of the head by Leroux. Geimer goes to the line. Targeting Ngape with a return of serve. Rouzier! Great block. Tipped over. Great reaction by Staples. Ngape again. Well, the block goes wide. Well, Max Staples was like a cat on a hot tin roof there. Volleyball throwing everything at France, but it stands at 30 all. This is a gripping theatre. If you're a neutral sports fan, if you're a lover of volleyball, it's irresistible. And that's out, off the top of the tape. It's long for set point. Challenge fired in by France. I'm sure it's going to be the line called challenge. What will Hawkeye reveal? From my angle, it was clearly long. Well, that's not clearly, that's just. Long is long, I suppose. Another set point for Australia. Up to number 4 in total, Ben Bell. They have the right response. Kevin LaRue, the middle blocker. A laconic character in the Le Bleu lineup. And he hits the line, level pegging 31 apiece in this 4th set. High ball toss, huge serve. Carroll did well. Oh, great scrambling by Australia. And it's long. What an effort by the Volleyroos. Set point. Paul Carroll, take a bow. Desperation at its very best. Not only did he scramble to make up the ground, he then resumed in position in court to put pressure on France. Sam Walker, can he send this into a 5th? Tickles the tape, and it's sent down by Le Goff. It is blow for blow in this 4th set. Riveting stuff. Rouzier with a serve. Staples denied by a huge block. Man Mountain Le Goff it is to set up match point number 7. 33-32. Rouzier. Good return. Bell. Carroll. And it goes Australia's way. A fault called against France. And parity restored. Zingled this time. Le Goff. They've played that quick transition so well. This time Le Goff just angled the winner cross court. Match point. T. Bell. Carroll, they've got it to the right man. Off the block. Finding reserves of belief. Australia to stay in the contest. It's now Carroll from the line. And it didn't find the right side off the tape. Losing count. Is it match point number 9? It is. Match point number 9 to France. 35-34. Staples sends it to ground. They just keep on coming back. All done without their captain, Tom Edgar. Marathon 4th set. Ngape. And that's convincing. Will it be a lucky 10th match point for Le Bleu? Staples with the return. Carroll, and that's long. Point and match to France. There'll be a challenge. I think a challenge will be fired in by Australia. Net touch challenge. Is it in hope, or have they got some basis? The Aussie captain looks on. The officials are nodding and shaking. And is it a net touch? It is. They've picked up contact on Leroux. Wow, how about that? France denied by the video referee. On the serve of Jacob Geimer. Match point to France. And this time they signal 37-36. Off the block, it was wide. Ngape at the line. Will wind up on the serve. Perry needs precision. Walker helps it over. Advantage France. Ngape sends it long. Well, they keep on getting to a match point position. Australia find an answer every time. 37 all. Most exciting match of the Olympic qualifying series so far. Onuiti. And that block is not in favour of Australia. Match point to France once more. Kevin Leroux hits it off the tape. Bill scrambles to make up the ground. Carroll strikes it beautifully. Good up by France. Leroux in the position. TE, triple block, successful. Australia just have absorbed so much pressure in this set. 38 all. They know how important points are at this stage of the tournament. Walker. Rousier. He finds the open court and an opponent as well for yet another match point. Can generate a lot of power off the jump serve. This time floats it into court. Max Staples cross court. That's a really good assist. Tremendous stuff, Max Staples. The dig across was absolutely perfect for Paul Carroll. It's not an easy stroke to make under that type of pressure. 39 all. Le Goff slaps it to ground. Kevin TE will just float the serve in. Carroll. Overwhelming the power from Paul Carroll in this match. His standout performance of this qualifying series. 33 points he's up to. And the jumper's not too flash. Well, it's a huge swing of the arm coming from a high apex. And I've lost count. I guess match point number 14 now to France. Le Goff. Good set. Staples off the top of the block. I wonder what the record points tally in a set is in international volleyball. I'm sure it's not 41. Paul Sanderson comes in. Max Staples has done his job. Well, they've used this tactic before. Sanderson can produce something different on the serve. And And he's at 41 all now. It's a great delivery. Excellent return. And Garpe from the angle. And they slide but can't keep it in play. Sanderson must have thought an ace was on offer after striking that serve, but another match point. Staples back in. You talk about fine margins. That last point was a great example. Carroll arrives deep. France stay in the point. The block is good. There'll be a joust of the net. Is there a net touch? It's the point to Australia. Every time the whistle blows, it's heart-of-the-mouth stuff for both sets of fans. No challenge from France. 42 points all. Quick transition. Match point to LeBleu. And Garpe strikes Sam Walker in the chest. Carroll is kept alive somehow by Australia. LaRue ends the equation and ends the match on a winning note. 42-44, France win in the fourth.